Hey everybody, it's Alika Lifty, and today let's brew our Colombia Rafael Ramírez Gesha as a filter offering. This is a really clean Gesha. This is not as in your face as some of our other offerings, but the recipe I'm brewing today will bring out some of these delicate fruit notes, these floral qualities, and give us a very smooth drinking experience. Rafael Ramírez with this Gesha has pre-fermented for 36 hours before the drying process. This gives us a nice balance of that acidity and that sweetness. And the recipe we're going to be brewing today is a riff on our traditional V60 method. I'm going to be using the Hario V60, and we're going to use 12 grams of coffee and 200 grams of water. So coffee, ground medium fine. This is 17 clicks on the Comandante C40, which is about 9 on your Baratza Encore. Pretty fine. We're gonna have a really small recipe for this V60. The standard recipe was still really nice, but we're able to bring out more floral notes in this smaller recipe. So if you use the standard V60 method, expect very traditional results, that 2.5 minute drain time. Stick to those same methods. In the Cafe Colita recipe, expect around a 3-15 second drain. And in this recipe, I'm expecting a 2-minute drain time. So 12 grams of coffee, 200 grams of water, set to 205 degrees Fahrenheit here in the Hario V60. All right, let's brew. If you don't have a V60 and you do have a Colita, you can find the Granja La Esperanza Gesha recipe, which is similar size and will get very similar results, but in a flat bottom brewer. Dump that preheat water. We don't need to preheat so much in this recipe. We don't need a ton of heat in this brewer. Dose our coffee. And I have a stir stick to make sure I'm able to saturate all of this coffee during the bloom phase. But you don't have to do this. This is such a small amount of coffee. We'll very easily be able to saturate all of this. All right, so I'm going to bloom with only 30 grams of water. So really small, try to pour really light. And then I'm gonna let this bloom for only 20 seconds before I hit it heavy in the middle, bringing it up to 80 grams total. All right, let's brew. So I'm gonna start my timer. Really light, trying to saturate all of these grounds within that 30 gram phase. And then I'm gonna take the stir stick where I see those bubbles, poke, break those clumps. That's all I need, really quick. And then at 20 seconds, hit this up to 80 grams. Boom, drop in the middle. Tight stirs. This is going to speed up our flow rate, help us keep a nice flow rate throughout the entire brew. And then at 40 seconds, I'm going to pour again, and I'm going to hit this all the way up to 150 grams total. And with this one, because I've got a little foam here, I am going to spiral so that I make sure I touch all the coffee, and then move back to the middle and pour right there. Let this brew. At a minute 10 now, I'm gonna hit it again in the middle and finish this off at 200 grams total. Letting it drain. We should start slowing down at this point. Our water level's not very high. It's not gonna be very high after we pour this. 110, drop in the middle. Stir everything up. Finish off. So pretty high ratio. I'm sitting at a 1 to 16.6 ratio with this 12 to 200. But our strength is going to be very comparable to your traditional recipes. What this means is we're extracting a little bit more of this coffee, and this fermentation and the quality of Rafael's Gesha maintains a ton of sweetness. We have a ton of soluble material in here. We can extract more and still get a really excellent cup of coffee. And so this recipe, we should reach around 1.35 to 1.45 in TDS, which is comparable strength to your standard recipes. but we are going to get around a 22 to 23% extraction. There's a lot of material in here. We're gonna have very nice white peach flavor. We're gonna have white florals, almost like jasmine. Some malt sweetness, almost like malt whiskey. And sweet tea. If we drain too fast, we can still get a really good brew. Like I said, there's a lot of soluble material in here. But we can miss some of these floral flavors and some of this nice texture. And if we drain too long, then some of this malt can become more drying and we can lose some of this mouth-watering effect from that sweet peach acidity. But we get a really nice cup when we're balanced. This V60 recipe did a nice job of bringing out the floral characteristics that I missed in the Kalita and in the standard V60. So, serve and enjoy.